You join me at ACT Expo with an all-new P700 delivery van for FedEx. This is made by Harbinger, and we are going to check this out today as we jump inside. FedEx will be deploying these all over the United States. We've ordered over 90 of these. This looks just like the normal P700 or P1000 box that you're used to, and that's because it is. They even have a program where they can take the old box off of a gas vehicle, refurbish it, and put it right back on their chassis. That means the cost savings will help make this an affordable option for both FedEx and their contract partners. That also means when we go to hop inside, it's going to feel familiar to the drivers. There's nothing new to learn here. You swing open the door, you jump inside the seat, and it's going to feel just like the vehicle that they came out of. As we look inside at what Harbinger can be bringing to your neighborhood soon, let's flip around and take a look from the driver's perspective. And there are multiple configurations of what Harbinger can do. Everything from a box truck like you see now, over to a couple different other models that we'll let you check out in just a minute. Welcome to Bo Family EV. Let's take a look at how FedEx and Harbinger are changing what they deliver for you. Jumping inside is simple and easy, and it's got all of the safety features that you're used to from your old delivery vehicle. They come with either 170 or over 200 miles of range. As we swing around, you've even got the same jump seat as before. So if you're doing a check ride, this seat drops right down and you're ready to go. You've got plenty of height in the box. And of course, you've got easy access to the storage area simply by sliding this open, and inside you go. When you're making your deliveries, of course, you want to be on this side of the street where the housing is. So you slide open that door. Then you've got the standard sidewalk placement of this sliding door that allows you to step right out to the house and deliver the package. One safety feature that has been added is while you always have your physical side mirrors, now with this screen and side cameras, you'll be able to see a left and a right view camera at all times when driving. So you'll have those blind spots covered. Then when you're in reverse, this will show you your backup camera, and it will also show you a 360 view. Then you'll also have your bumper sensors, which will show on your center display, as well as giving you distance and beeping sounds as you get closer to any obstacles. This will always give input and sensor data to the driver so that they're keeping safe at all times when on the road, as well as when backing up into a parking spot. Here we can see the placement of those cameras right below the normal physical mirrors. One of the things I've learned from talking to these fleet operators is how important it is for them to be able to have their employees and their drivers go from vehicle to vehicle without a lot of unfamiliar change, and this from Harbinger really fits the bill. One of the other things that they've solved for is the ability to scale, and they've done that by taking the same chassis and been able to put different toppers onto that chassis. Let me show you what I mean. This is the bare chassis of the Harbinger. This is what's underneath the FedEx step van that we just saw. But it's not just used for that step van. You can also see it on the model behind me, which is like an e-Sprinter type courier van. And they can also make this into an EREV. So what you'll see here is you've got all of the wiring and the battery packs. But if the 170 to 200 plus miles of range isn't going to be enough for your needs, they can also put in here an EREV model, and they'll get you up to 500 miles. And then if you've got different use cases, like the one I'm about to show you now, they have an HC cab series, which is perfect for places like New York, where you have to have high visibility for pedestrian traffic, and also have requirements where you get fined if you have idling fees for diesel trucks. So in that location, where you have diesel vehicles, especially in the cold, you're not allowed to leave your truck idling when you stop at your depots or at your locations and your loading docks, or there's big heavy fines. And so an electric vehicle like this one is exactly what people are looking for in order to avoid those fees. Also, because of the regulations in New York, this stub-nose European style chassis is what's required in order to deliver in places like Manhattan. By using this exact same chassis on multiple platforms, they're able to scale, reduce cost, and bring value across multiple different customers and meet the different needs depending on where it is in the United States that their customers are. Even if that means turning a box truck into a tiny home on wheels. I'm pretty sure you could rent this out for $2,000 in the Bay Area. As we look inside the HC cab, you're going to have a different experience here than we saw in the step van. Here you can get up to 3 folks inside, and you've got a bit more of a comfortable seating situation as well. So as we jump inside, you can see this is much more of a traditional steering wheel, dashboard, even the kind of iPad display that so many of us have in our vehicles now. And if you look at the seating, again, very traditional seating arrangements with up to 3. So this might be something like furniture delivery or appliance stores, grocery store chains, any number of your typical delivery services. This is the perfect platform for doing that. There's storage space up here for your paperwork and invoices, and like I said, plenty of room for your crew. Now in this final configuration, this topper is something very unique and a form factor I've never seen before in a battery electric. Check out this shuttle bus. As we go inside, let's flip around and we'll go in. This is an all-electric people mover. So you can see you've got all of the seats all set up. Now this can also be configured, of course, as a delivery van as well, but this is something really cool for places like FedEx where you're moving people around, or shuttling at an amusement park, or any number of other places that want to go electric for just shuttling employees or folks at a remote parking space. You still again have that 170 to 200 plus miles of range. They even said they can convert this into an RV. And again, you've always got that EREV option if that is more your need to get all the way up to 500 miles of range. And then they can always also partition the wall and go with more of the box and delivery van style. But again, the different configurations and ways that you can customize this are pretty much endless. But I just thought this particular setup as a shuttle van was so unique. Let me know in the comments, have you ever seen an all-electric shuttle bus? I've seen the full-size giant electric buses for like, Meta and those types of places, but a really compact shuttle bus like this, I just thought was really cool. And again, the idea that you're taking that same chassis and doing these different configurations, I just thought was really smart. So that's gonna wrap it up from Harbinger. I'm really excited, of course, to see the FedEx van. Let me know what you think. You've got the EREV option or the full battery electric. What would you choose? What do you think about what you saw here? Leave your comments below. And if you've seen this on mobile, make sure to hype it up. All of your comments and engagement really help small channels like mine. We will see you on the next one.